let's have a more detailed look at this, I guess. First, with this, I've heard quite a lot of people actually liking this set a little better in some ways. And I think for me, it's also like, I think more than enough for putting it in as a display piece. And it does not take up this huge amount of space. Like, the bigger tumbler is I'm probably pronouncing this wrong still, but you know what I'm talking about. This important part is like, I think double this size, so it's um, a lot harder to display. First of all, it takes up a lot more space. It costs. Let me calculate for a second. I think 5 times as much at the moment. I'm not sure if it started at 200 or it is at 200 reduced. But this here officially ranges for 39.99. I'm talking about euros, by the way. I don't know the dollar price, but I think it's rather similar to euros most of the time. And if you think about it, it's you could buy 5 of these sets, but I don't think that the other one is 5 times the value of this in terms of display property too, because the minifigure scale 1 I can actually put into any mock that I want to, or like just into the shelf back there, whereas with the bigger one I wouldn't even know where to put this sets, like maybe into a side shelf. So I like this the size of this a lot. And also, if you let me just show you the interior for a second again, I think it's also like offering a lot for what it costs. Honestly, if I well, let me rephrase that. Like for Lego, it's okay for what you get. It's not the best price per piece value, because it is. Let me just check. Oh no, I think I've closed the tab. It is around 400 something pieces. Yeah. I have to compare this to, for example, the Speed Champion series. That is rather a good running series, I would say. And in terms of pricing, all of these are always 20 euros. So this is all like for the double sets. I think it's like 38 or 40 euros. Probably 40. So you would have to compare it either one with one set of 2 cars, or 2 bigger cars, or 2 regular cars, I guess, in terms of value. But also the regular Speed Champions cars are only 8 bricks wide, I think, with the tires. So if you consider that you have a lot more width to this model, and it's also like a lot longer than the not a lot longer, but a little bit longer than the regular cars that you can build. I think it is all right, especially considering you're getting 2 minifigures which are quite well made. I like the Scarecrow minifigure quite well too, the longer I look at it. I think the Batman minifigure is okay. I cannot compare it to the older ones, because what I think is cheaping out a little bit is the fact that there is no leg prints on it, or on any of these figurines here. I think that could have been improved a little bit, maybe, because for 40 euros I kind of expect at least the minifigures to be well made, if it's only one little car for it, basically. But also, speaking of the price per piece ratio, I think it's around 8 to 10 cents. I have not calculated it. It's probably like 9 to 10 cents somewhere in this realm. If you pay for retail too, gonna mention that. I did not, because I usually never pay full retail for these sort of sets, because they always are released into general retail stores too, usually, or at least into a little bit more special retail stores. I mean, like the bigger toy stores like Smith, which has been Toys R Us a couple of years ago. And there I think it was like 30, 32, something like that. I'm not completely sure. But I think that's okay. Like for around 30 euros, that's quite an okay model. I guess the minifigures itself, I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep them, to be honest. Maybe I'm just gonna put them up on Bricklink. But for the car itself, I kind of like. That's why I got it originally, just because I wanted to put it into a little city mock or something. What I actually also want to mention is the sturdiness of the build, which I think is really good. So considering it's a playset, they had to make it a little more sturdy, but the sturdiness also did not drag away from the little greebling. And I think that is also what makes this set a little bit more pricey in the eyes of Lego, because they just put a bunch of little details on top and made it look quite nice, I think, for the actual size it has. But well, let me say it like this: for people like me who just want a nice display model, this is wonderful. For people who actually would like to play with this, it will probably still have a few parts that are very likely constantly breaking off. From the overall construction of this, I think it is done rather well. And I mean, I'm not gonna try to smash it on the floor. It will probably still just break into a couple of parts, but I feel confident enough saying that this should uphold if you just drop it like this. I should not try it. I will also probably sound horrible on stream, but and I guess, yeah, why not? Like, just, you see, like, if I just like let it fall off, what is this, like 20 centimeters? You see, that probably hurt a lot. I'm so sorry. I hope that was not just the depth of your ears right now. So you see, nothing broke off. That's actually quite a good test. I'm terribly sorry for the audio though. So yeah, like I mentioned, it's quite sturdy. It looks okay, and I think it was quite fun to build. I think I would recommend it, but like I always mention, this is like sort of very short reviews. I only recommend it, first of all, if you like the subject a lot and if you are getting it for a discount. I mentioned earlier already, usually if it's not a completely exclusive deal on Lego or on Lego's main website, I would not pay full price for any Lego set ever, to be honest, because even if it's an exclusive on the website of Lego, usually for most of the sets, they still become available, for example, on at Toys R Us or however it is called in your country still, after a couple of months. So if you're just patient for a little bit, even with newer releases like the ones who came out in June, for example, if you're just a little bit more patient, usually the price of these sets always drops at least a fifth, I would say. So for example, here it was a quarter basically of the price that this set just dropped, and it was, well, for that it becomes okay-ish. Like I said, then the price per piece ratio becomes acceptable if you buy it for full retail price, especially because there is a license on this, which is Warner Brothers license, which is one of the more expensive ones besides the Star Wars or Disney licenses in general. It is not the best. So it's, like I mentioned, it's like 400 something pieces for 40 euros on Lego's website. Not the best. Not the worst either, but well, you can do better than that. For the parts, I would. Well, that is actually a hard question if I would buy this just for parts. I usually do not part out my sets, so I usually do not speak that much about that, exactly for the reason that I am, well, not really that interested in the sheer part value of it. But for this set, I have to say, I think parting it out might actually make sense to you if you're looking for a lot of black plates or parts to use for greebilling on something, or if you want to put more greebilling on some of the bigger UCS sets that are black, for example the TIE Fighter, or for example also the bigger Tumbler. I think this could be used for this purpose to a certain degree. And yeah, is it cheaper to probably order some of it just from Bricklink and then just ignore some of the parts? Yes, very likely. And also you do not need the minifigures, and the minifigures probably will sell for what, like 3 to 5 euros maximum. So considering all of that, I am not really recommending this for parting it out either. But it has one of the Speed Champions bottom side parts and some hinge elements, a lot of wheels and tires, and a lot of these plate elements, and 3 different trans clear windows. I'll show you the windows one more time, because I think this is my favorite part of the whole build too, which are just these angled windows on the sides with these little brackets up top simulating window frames, and the front window. I think these just fit together quite nicely, and I really like the angle design that they took. I like the approach that they took for this. Maybe I was able to help somebody with this. If not, maybe at least it was an enjoyable experience to watch, I hope. Like I mentioned before already, I'm always super happy if somebody actually enjoys my content enough to give a follow or subscribe to my channel. I am very much looking forward to seeing all of you in my next stream or my next video. Besides that, I want to thank all of you for attending today's stream/video, and I wish all of you a great evening, morning, or a day. I'm not sure which time it is for you guys, but anyway, thank you all for watching. Goodbye.